Hi, everybody. This is Professor Castone here, and I just wanted to do a little introductory video for our course for Bio 105 in Summer 2 at Rowan College of South Jersey. I'm going to run through a little bit of Blackboard with you. However, I want you to be able to go to Blackboard and see the materials there for yourself. This video is intended to take place of syllabus day. So I am going to go over the syllabus. I'm going to give a little background on myself. So once you log into Blackboard, you do see here, Professor, what materials do I need for the course? I did send this video out to you. It talks about what you need to purchase for the course, particularly the lab kit and also the Mastering A&P access code. So please watch that video if you have not watched that. This right here is how to order a physical text from the eText. So once you get into Blackboard, you'll find our Mastering A&P is over here on the side, on the left-hand side, and I have it highlighted in purple right now. When you click on that, you have access to the eText, and that's after you purchase the access code. If let's say you're operating from the eText and you decide, you know what, I really want a physical textbook. You can purchase one right from Pearson, and you would click on Pearson eText, purchase a loose leaf printed text, and it's about $44 according to the Pearson rep. Course starter tools. In here we have things that are important for you to look at on day one or prior to day one, including the syllabus, and we're going to go through that right now. So before I go into the syllabus, I do want to give you a little bit of background on myself because that's what I normally do in class. So I've been an adjunct professor now at Rowan College of South Jersey for almost a decade. Normally, I'm a high school teacher. I actually teach biology at West Effort High School. I have a couple of degrees in biology, one of them being a master's degree in organ systems and cellular physiology, and I have another master's degree in education. So I am a high school teacher, but I am also a college educator as well, and I've taught at such colleges as Rowan University, Stockton University, Camden County College, Atlantic Cape Community College, and of course, before it was Rowan, Cumberland County College. So I've been doing this for quite a while, and I've taught anatomy and physiology in a few different formats, and this format this summer will be strictly online. So let's go ahead and take a look at the syllabus together. I'm going to share that screen with you. Okay, and what you want to take a look at here is my Rowan email address. That's one way of getting a hold of me, but it's not the fastest. If you want to get a hold of me the fastest way, you need to join our Remind class, which a few of you have. And the way you do that is you text at RCSJ1 to 81010. So you text it to that number as if that number was a phone number, and you text that phrase, the whole thing, including at. And it will welcome you to our class. And basically you can text me and I can text you, and we don't have each other's phone numbers, but we have a platform to be able to communicate with each other and communicate pretty quickly. So it's a really nice feature. Here's everything that you need to order to start our course. And hopefully you do that, with enough time to receive everything. I'm not going to go through everything right now because that was the other video that I showed you. The very first posted video is about all that. This right here is a table for options on how to buy the textbook for our class and how to buy the access code. Again, I'm not going to go through this right now because I went over it in the previous video. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and let me know if something's confusing. Okay, so how are you being evaluated in this course? Well, we do have 4 exams. Some of them are on 3 chapters at a time. Some of them are on 2 chapters at a time. Each one is worth 100 points and will be given on Blackboard. They are made up of multiple choice questions as well as open-ended questions. So you're given usually about an hour and a half to complete the exam, and it does need to be completed by its deadline. So you will be given a time frame to complete the exam, and you need to make sure that you do that. That's, you know, one of your major grades for the class. You have lab exercises that you're going to be doing at home with the lab kit, and we'll go over a little bit of lab safety. The lab exercises themselves are anywhere from 10 to 20 points apiece. I do have listed here in gray a presentation. During a normal semester, you would be responsible for presenting a project in class. Now, because we're online, that makes it a little bit difficult. So I think what I'm going to do with this is, if we don't do presentations, it'll be used as an extra credit feature for the class. So I haven't decided at this time what I'm going to do with that, but I will decide, you know, by the time our class starts. Quizzes and homeworks. Quizzes, again, are going to be online on Blackboard, and homeworks are going to be in Mastering A&P and also watching the videos called Ed Puzzles. So for every Ed Puzzle video you watch, you get 2 points. If you don't watch them, you don't get the 2 points and you lose points. So those are considered homework. You do have 2 practicals, which are interesting to do online, but they're based around pictures, and you'll be responsible for knowing bone parts, muscle parts, muscle structure, bone structure, in 2 separate practicals worth 50 points apiece. The grading scale for the college, in case you're, you know, maybe you attend another college where the grading scale is different. This is our grading scale here. This next section is all about the objectives that we need to reach for the course. So I'm not going to go over every single one, but these are to basically get us accreditation and to make sure that your credits are going to transfer to 4-year colleges. So we have to show that we are showing you how to be competent in science. And so this goes over all of that. And this is another page of the same thing. How are we achieving those objectives? Now, there are some new policies due to distance learning, and that is that the way that you're going to prove to me that you did labs is that you're going to have your smartphone and take pictures. You could take pictures using a digital camera if you don't have a smartphone, but you will need to provide picture evidence that you did the labs, and you're going to upload them into the documents and submit them on Blackboard, and there'll be instructions for that. Now, the Carolina lab kits contain everything that you're going to need for the class. They contain goggles and instructions. So you are responsible for reading the instructions, completing the labs by their deadline, and turning them in as part of your grade. Because we need to have some form of instructor presence with the class, I will be holding Zoom meetings, and you know, if you can make them, great. If you can't, I can record them. But the Zoom meeting will be used to address questions and concepts that you do not understand. Our online learning platform is Blackboard, and through Blackboard, you guys will be using Mastering A&P, through which your homework assignments will be assigned, and you are responsible for completing them for a grade. All quizzes and exams will be timed. Quizzes are typically around 20 minutes, exams hour to an hour and a half. And if you miss an exam for some reason, you really should have some kind of documentation as to why you missed the deadline for it. And you know, hopefully you'll reach out to me and we'll communicate about how to get you back on track. But I do take it case by case to try to determine, you know, what happened, why did you miss the exam? So if that does happen, you know, you'll need to reach out to me, and we'll need to talk about like what we need to do from there. Lab practicals, you have 2, again, one on the bones, one on the muscles, and they will be given on Blackboard, and you'll be shown pictures, and you'll be responsible for identifications. This is about the oral presentation that I went over earlier and said I'm not sure if we're going to do that. Again, if we do it, it's likely to be used for extra credit, because you're not going to be expected to present something when we don't really have a classroom of students. We have everything online. So academic integrity, like, you know, is cheating possible in this class? And the answer to that is yes. I mean, you could be in the middle of an exam and go online find an answer to something, copy it, paste it, and put it in Blackboard as your answer. And the idea there is that A, you shouldn't be doing that, and B, that Blackboard actually has a feature to figure out if you have copied and pasted things from the internet. So it would not benefit you to do that because you would receive a 0 on the entire assessment, and I would have to communicate with the college that you were academically dishonest in the course. So just keep in mind that accidental cheating, sometimes we get students that say like, it was an accident, I didn't know. And intentional cheating are treated the same. So accidental cheating and intentional cheating are treated the same. So you need to be very careful about not copying and pasting answers from the internet into your quizzes or exams, because if I figure that out or if Blackboard figures it out, it's going to be detrimental to your grade. So you wouldn't want to do that. This is our affirmative action statement for the college, stating that we're committed to providing an educational and workplace environment free from unlawful harassment and discrimination. And there are some protected groups. And that is, we do not discriminate or harass based on race, creed, color, national origin, age, ancestry, nationality, marital or domestic partner, or civil union status, sex, pregnancy, gender identity or expression, disability, liability for military service, affectional or sexual orientation, atypical cellular or blood trait, genetic information. They're all prohibited to discriminate or harass anyone from any of those groups. So if you have any questions about that, we do have our officer's name here, Almarie Jones, and you would want to reach out to her. For disability issues, we have Dennis Cook, and he's in charge of the special services. So if you need accommodations like extra time testing, you would need to provide documentation of that to special services, and then they would provide it to me. And then of course I would provide you accommodations. So this is how to register with special services. So if you got special services in high school, you likely would also get them at college, but you do have to register. So this again is about those presentations that I talked about earlier. Again, not sure that we're going to do them. So I'm not going to go over this right now, but if I do decide that we will do them, then I'll make a separate video. So the last thing that I want to show you is really our outline of topics. So these are all the chapters that we go over. Notice we do not cover chapter 2. I've had students tell me before, like, I read chapter 1, 2, and 3 already. Chapter 2 we don't cover. It's chemistry. So we don't cover that in anatomy and physiology at this college. Some other colleges do. We do not. So you don't want to waste any time in chapter 2. But we do go all the way up to the peripheral nervous system, which is chapter 13. And that is the order, we stay in that order. Here, this is sort of a pacing guide, and this starts you off on the very first day, June 22nd. So reading and understanding the syllabus is really the purpose of this video. So if you watch this video before that day, then you're good to go on that one. But you want to start chapter 1 that day, 18 pages. Look at the PowerPoint, go through the PowerPoint, look at the pictures. There's videos in the PowerPoint that are really helpful. And you want to also watch the Edpuzzle video, and that would be Edpuzzle number 1. Then the next day, you want to focus on chapter 3 and its PowerPoint, and possibly even do the lab for that chapter. So it sounds like a lot when you go through each day, but the idea here is that we have to cover the same amount of time that you would cover in class if this were an in-person class, and that's about 3 hours. So you need to commit about 3 hours of your time every day to this course. Now, if you can't commit the full 3, then I did type in here that you should do what's called a Flex Friday. So in a normal summer, we wouldn't have Friday classes, but now that we're online, you could kind of spread out your hours and use Friday as a catch-up day and catch up on any missed work. Now, obviously, you don't want to go over any deadlines. So if something was due, you want to do those items. But Friday could be used to study, Friday could be used to finish things. But then that following Monday, June 29th, is your first exam. So your exams are always on a Monday. The only time it's not on a Monday, I think, is when it's the very last day of the course. So after an exam, you know, take a breather, and then you want to start the next chapter, chapter 5. And again, some chapters are longer than others. So you want to pace yourself. You want to be keeping up with your mastering A&P and also keeping up with your videos. Remember, you get credit for watching the videos, the Ed puzzles. So as you go along, you can see when you should be doing labs, another Flex Friday, and then, let's see. Yes, and then you have exam number 2, okay? You can see your bone practical at this time is slated for July 9th. You know, I don't see that changing before the class starts, but, you know, that would be when your bone practical is due online. And your muscle practical is about a week later. So I have all of those listed on Blackboard as well. Your very last day of class is July 23rd, and that is the day of your last exam. That is not a Monday, at least not to my recollection is that a Monday. I think as it's listed here, it's a Thursday. So this is like kind of to keep you pacing correctly. There's no way you're going to be able to not do work every day. You're going to have to do work every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, possibly Friday, possibly Saturday, depending. You know, and you need to be responsible in that regard to make sure that you're keeping up and not putting yourself up against a wall. So that's really all I have for right now, but I wanted to make sure that I went over the syllabus with you. And if you have any questions, please reach out. Please join the Remind text. It's the easiest way to get a hold of me. And I'm going to be posting this on Blackboard and sending it out to you guys so that you can see it. So I look forward to starting this class with you guys, and good luck with everything.